Shalom, shalom. All praises and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash, upon us, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of earth, risking your life to do so. And wanted to go over this glory because this is a beautiful concept. You know, we glory in the Lord, but we understand that we're still in our captivity. So it's a balance. You know, and as the scriptures say, there's a certain shame. Matter of fact, let me get that. And there's Sirach 4 and 21. It says, "For there is a shame that brings sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace." And that's the kind of shame that we have. Right? This world has basically tried to shame us, destroy us, you know, for preaching the gospel. But the whole time it's bringing glory and grace, because we're not glorifying ourselves. You know, and it was a brother who I was speaking with. You know, he's kind of green, so he's understanding the balance. You know, he was kind of mad about some stuff. Some guys looked at me wrong. So, you know, little basic stuff, which that happens sometimes. You know, this can, knowledge puff it up. Now, at the same time, you get mad too, because Jake is completely niggerish. Like I do business with a lot of different nations. You know, like Issachar, or with Mexicans. I'm not gonna say Issachar, because I love my Issacharite brethren, but these damn Mexicans, they don't look at you, you know, with that same brotherliness. They don't acknowledge you as one of them. The scriptures say what? The love of many shall wax cold. So this is when the scriptures should start pouring into our minds, you know, when we're dealing with these different situations. All right? Their eye is evil towards their brother. They don't like you. At this particular time, this guy chose to target me. It was weird as hell. Out the blue, I said, I understand what it is. It's Satan. All right, and then once we're sealed, we're changed. That's when the glory comes. All right, and I just want to read a couple of more scriptures, because we're not. It says, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. See, right now you just have to deal with shit. You got to deal with dirty looks, which there has to be boundaries. I'm not saying that you're just a pushover, because that's not what the scriptures say at all. There has to be boundaries with these people. People have to respect you. And when they don't, there has to be consequences for that lack of respect. But at the same time, the scriptures say it is the glory of a king to look over a matter. So it's like, to overlook a matter. So certain shit, like whatever. Dude looked at me wrong. See, there's going to be a time for that. It's going to be a time where your woman, like the apostle says, she blinked wrong. She looked wrong. She going to get checked instantly. Fuck it, you know. She got that stupid RBF, that face. You can look up what that is. It's going to be a time where you're going to be on their ass. It's going to be a time where we get that power, which is starting now with this word. But right now, the Lord said, you're going to be fishers of men. And then after you become fishers, then you're going to be hunters. It's not time to receive celestial yet. We're still this flesh is wicked. You can still go off. Everything you rebuke everybody else for, you could still end up doing it. All right, Galatians 5. I'm going to start at 22. I ain't going to make this lesson long. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, And that's a huge one. Long suffering, dealing with situations. Sometimes, and the scriptures tell you that don't trip over every little thing. Some people are just kind of can be annoying, whether they mean to be or not. Some people just hey, they don't mesh necessarily well with you. Does that mean that brother's not an Israelite? Does that mean he's not of the elect? Certain stuff you just have to say, going to work. Some brothers don't like that, man. I feel like a slave, and hey, sometimes that feeling creeps up on me all the time. But guess what? You got to pay your bills. You gotta be able to kind of afford the basics and be able to move around. So certain stuff you just have to deal with, right? Because we understand that there's going to be a time where all of these things are going to be, like it says, what manner of persons shall you be? Seeing that all these things are going to be burnt up. That's what I think about. Like, this dude, these people have all this stuff, doing all of this, all of these different concepts. They got their OnlyFans, they got their rap album, they got this, they got that. At the end of the day, it's going to be burned up. It's not going to mean shit. Everything they work for is going to be nothing. It's going to return to nothing. And if they're not of the elect, they're going to have to come back through the elect. All right, it says, meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. All right, so understand that certain things are just not good for you. You just don't need to do. It's just not for you. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. And certain things pisses you off. You don't want to see certain things. Don't even be in the environment for that shit. Like certain people, it might be high and by. Keep it moving. I'm not going to be around you. You're not going to get a chance to try to disrespect me or play any kind of games, and none of that. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it moving. All right, let us not be desirous of vainglory, because that's what this world teaches you to be. I gotta have this glory now. I must be glorified. I know this and I know all of that. That's good, you know that, but it's not time to be glorified. It ain't quite time yet. All right, provoking one another, envying one another. I'm this guy, and I did this, and I did that, and that. Hey, it's certain men, who are set up to be the heads, and and all of that stuff. And certain men, you might not necessarily even see on camera. Shit, they gonna receive their reward too. All right, one thing's for certain: before anybody get glory, shit, Yahweh Shai is gonna receive glory. Matthew 24, because this is what's going to happen. It talks about the coming of the Son of Man. Verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light. So after destruction, right, after they say, wherever the carcass is, the eagles shall be gathered. Basically, the elect is beamed up. I said, the moon shall not give her light, the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Right, so after the elect is gathered up, he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, because it's a great glory in being the Redeemer of Israel. All right, Yahweh Shai is going to receive his glory first. It said, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds. All right, so Babylon is destroyed. All right, the elect is taken here, then the elect is taken from everywhere else, from one end of heaven to the other, which the elect is going to be beamed up from Babylon before Babylon is destroyed. Just to make sure I'm clear. All right, then the elect is going to be sealed, meaning they're not going to be subject unto Satan. All right, they're going to be in celestial form. Now, is there going to be a certain glory of them in Babylon? Because the word glory, let's see, from the Latin gloria, fame, renown, great praise or honor, right now is dishonor. Right? But this dishonor is going to, infamy. Scripture talking about infamy. Right now we're infamous. The Hebrew Israelite, they put that little undertone. I remember this guy is a state representative. He tried to roll up on us talking that noise. He talking about, oh, so you think because you a Hebrew Israelite that I'm looking at this dude, man, you clown. Just straight clown. You think because you a Hebrew Israelite that that people are supposed to judge, he had the nerve to be mad too. I said, this guy's a clown. It's a lot of clowns out here, man. Anyway, he knew exactly who we were. And in his mind, we're dishonorable for standing out and teaching the word, the true word of our true and living power. That shit perplexes me. But such is the mindset of a nigga in Babylon. Right? That's what's to be expected. See, the Lord did that on purpose. He picked lowly men. He didn't pick, I said, not many mighty, not many noble. He didn't pick the royals and the greatest athletes and the greatest fighters and the most famous. He picked regular guys, right? Which really were not so regular, but at the same time, we are regular. We're just regular men. We're not gods, not yet. All right, that's how the Messiah was picked. We're going through the same process. All right, I'm going to jump back to the Revelations, but this is Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord thy power in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. All right, so there's going to be no more reproach. We're just going to take that reproach away. Yeah, this place is full of haters. But that's okay. That means you're doing something right. Because at the end of the day, like me and another brother said, we take this before the Lord. You have no case. You guys have nothing on us. There's nothing you can say that we did to you. Oh, they did this, and they can't. You can't say it, and be found true. I just said our enemies are gonna be found liars. It says, verse 19. Let me read it again. So it says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And that happens before destruction. All right, that's what's going to happen. We're going to receive fame and praise in every land where we were put to shame. Yep. And it says, at that time will I bring you again, even in that time that I gather you, for I will make you a name. Right. So before destruction, the Lord is going to give us fame. Because it's going to be like, oh shit, these are the guys. All right, this is going to be that time. Like when the elect goes up, it says their enemies beheld them. Because they're going to see it like, oh shit. At that, yeah. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. So the Lord is going to turn back our captivity, meaning he's going to free us. We're going to be emancipated. Right? A beautiful thing. Jumping back to that Revelation and 21:9, and it says, and he carried, so like, and there came unto me one of the seven angels which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. See, this is the elect right here, who've made the covenant with the Lord, right? That marriage with the Lord. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High. All right, so that's going to be the time where it's going to be a little glory, right? Here, it's going to be some slight glory, but this is going to be, we're going to have the glory of the living power, like it says. This is this is going to be on a whole nother level. Everybody going to see it like, oh my God. See, this whole shame thing is slipping off. You know, and this time is coming. It's coming very quickly. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Right? And that people in that place is going to have a glow to them. Right? That's why the principal thing right now to get is wisdom. Right? Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And that's what we do. We understand why. We understand how these people do what they do. All right, the scriptures talk about that. The herbs, the roots, the circuits of the heavens, the reasonings of men. All right, it's a lot of reasons why niggas do what they do, all illogical for the wrong reasons. Let's say the heart of a fool seeks to discover itself. It's just all for the wrong reasons, man, for self-glory. That's what everything is about now. Who's popular, who's on, who got the follows, the likes, and just like, who cares? You have to piss and shit like the next person. There's nothing about you that's really of a higher level, worth following or worth glorifying. And it says, exalt her, and she shall promote thee. See, our promotion is coming. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. So, hey, eventually the elect is going to wear that crown of glory. But as we open up with, there's a shame that makes glory. Right now, they're shaming us for our belief, which is a good thing. All right, just take it in your stride, deal with it. And you understand how to play past shit too. Like, you know, like your kids, you have to respond to everything somebody else said in the classroom and this and that. You're around a bunch of other people. They have a low self-esteem. So they expect you to have the same thing. You know, they want to bring you down. Water seeks its own level. We all know how that goes. But then you get older, you understand everything don't need a response. A nigga is gonna nig. Hey, let the righteous be righteous still. Answer not a fool according to his folly. In some situations, you answer a fool according to his folly, you know. You have to go by the spirit. But shalom to the elect, call Loyam Laya How Bashim Shai.